Stupid questions.
Maybe I've had Adelaide coming to Switzerland for pushing.
It's the BMW IBSF Bobsleigh and Skeleton World Championships 2024. We're back in Winterberg in Germany, and after rain on day one of skeleton, a dry day yesterday. Something odd with the rain this morning though, it seems to have become snow. We'll see what happens as we get into the first of 4 heats of the women's Monobob competition, starting bright and early this morning. I'm Martin Haven, alongside me from Great Britain, driver Adam Baird. And where are we going to see drivers making time here? Where are the key areas that we've got to see the mistakes coming in?
Firstly, good morning, Martin. So, yeah, 15 combination corner track. Into corner 0 then, so this is where you're going to see quite a few mistakes. It's quite a tricky little corner to get yourself round. On the top of the track, all you're trying to do is carry your start speed and velocity, doing as minimal driving as you can, just getting it around those corners without making any mistakes. You're actually going uphill now from 3 into 4, and then this is where you'll start seeing the mistakes. 4 into 5, taking taps, round, and then into 6 into the Kreisel. That's another sort of tricky little transition. Big sweeping left-hander Kreisel, and then this is where the track starts to speed up. From 8, another little tricky transition going into 9, and this is where you want a nice long straight flat line. Tricky little 10, and then big sweeping right left-hander, right into the labyrinth. And then this is where the top speeds we'll see, and then your big finish curve. And if you want to do a victory roll, you're more than welcome to.
It seems that our forerunners might have done a victory roll. The last of the forerunners has just crashed. So, and these are guys that know the track well. So just an indication that that it's going to be as tricky as ever. So snow in the air. It feels pretty cold and damp. The ice is a little bit frosty this morning, but hopefully will hold up well. First day of skeleton racing was an absolute whitewater rafting. So, yeah, almost 0 degrees, ice -4. So it's going to be pretty quick. Alana Myers-Taylor there in the blue jacket. You saw Lara Nolte, the reigning Monobob world champion. And Alana was the Olympic silver medalist behind teammate Kaylee Humphries in mono. Kim Kilicki there, limbering up. Well, she will go off last of all. That's going to be a major disadvantage, even though she knows this track well.
Yeah, she's had a bit of a hard time as Kim this season with a few injuries, but she's back in the Monobob, so she'll see what she can do.
Yeah. Keisha Love, 2 wins this season, and Andrea Greco, who's been knocking on the door of a win for so long. She took a silver medal in the European Championships a few weeks ago, her second European silver. She had one a few years ago in the women's bobsleigh as well. But our start list, well, you've probably got most of the favourites right in the top half dozen. Lisa Buchwitz, who has 4 wins so far this season. Lara Nolte, the world champion. Keisha Love, the new sensation. Ahead of Brianna Walker, Andrea Greco, Alana Myers-Taylor, Mel Hassler. Hard to see medals coming from beyond that group, but we've got 26 sleds. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah, it's a big old field, this World Champs, so it should be good fun.
Getting the World Championships for women's monobob underway here in Winterberg. The hot favourite, Germany's Lisa Buchwitz, the European champion and a former top break athlete in the last Olympics. She was a pusher, and in the next she will be probably Germany's big hope for a medal. 5:81 getaway.
Yeah, fantastic start. She did an 82 last year at the World Cup, so it's an improvement. She'll definitely set the standard for the starts, that's for sure.
Bronze in the world in St. Moritz. Her best race result in mono here has been a 4th place finish.
It's a good transition 3 to 5.
We're looking to see whether the sled starts to move around, sliding around under her. These sleds are very light. Only one athlete makes them much more skittish to control, but so far looking smooth.
Yeah, she's driving that quite well, actually. Good transition from 9 into 11.
It's nudged
Little
away
skid, yeah.
into 11. That's going to happen a lot.
Tidy labyrinth, though.
Yeah,
good
down
carry
into
that
bottom.
speed.
126. Now, the skeleton sleds were doing 131 yesterday, but it's a brand new track record.
So we do have a fast track today, then?
Yeah, we do. Well, you were saying that the ice looked to be cut very nicely this morning when you came down, and so it would appear. So Lisa Buchwitz gets us underway with a track record. Track record was set in December 21 by Alana Myers-Taylor. So nice smooth line, high on the exits. You want to tidy that up.
Yeah. I mean, you can get away with making mistakes at the bottom if you drive the top, you know, really well and start well like what she has. You know, her transitions, you know, 4 into 5, 6 into 7 were pretty good there. So it'll carry that velocity and speed.
See, from the lines on the ice, our forerunner crashed in 9, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a victory roll, oh dear. Okay, so next up, Lara Nolte, the world champion. And she had her first win of the season last week in Altenburg.
Yeah, the local girl, decent start time as well.
But she's giving away 800s to Buchwitz in one heat. So multiply that by 4 heats. She's got to be 3/10 better in driving just to negate that start deficit.
Yeah, correct. But she knows this track like the back of her hand. It is her home ice.
Yeah.
She will drive it well, I'm sure. Yeah, there's good transitions there.
Building speed out of corner 5 is so important, isn't it? It really plunges down the hill.
You see there, she's already matched Lisa's time, and she's got faster speeds.
Yeah. Same speed as Buchwitz. A little bit behind her here in terms of speed, though. So
yeah, tap into 9 there. Ooh.
Whoa!
She's controlled it though.
Well, you can see the hometown queen nearly rolling off 9. Yeah. It is quicker than they had in training, clearly.
You see there, she was, she was the fastest speeds, and then she went 1 tap back down to second fastest.
All right, well, she started 800 slower than Lisa Buchwitz, comes across the line 800 slower than Lisa Buchwitz, so that's a pretty decent drive. But again, 9, she'll want to tidy that up. But again, in training, it was wet, and the track was like damp tissue paper and slow, and so today it's like glass. It takes a lot to adjust, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's classic. I mean, one of the tracks that's classic for that is Altenburg. You'll be training in sort of frosty conditions, and then all of a sudden race day, it's absolutely super fast. But that's the sort of magic of being a bobsleigh driver, is adapting to what you've got in front of you.
She's got that. She just watched the replay. She's got that smile on her face that went, oops. Yeah. All right, now what about Keisha Love? She's the big unknown here. When she's had a couple of weeks on the track, time to actually learn it, she is like grease lightning. She's had 2 wins this year, but everywhere where she goes for the first time, it's just survival.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got a phenomenal starting, and in another 24 months, when we get to the games in Milan Cortina, boy, she's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, it's classic. You want the 3 things in bobsleigh, which is the drive, the start, and the equipment. She's got the start for sure. She's got the equipment. And she's obviously showing the potential of the driving already by winning a few things and being up there.
200s off the start record already. It's going to go today, isn't it?
I'm sure of it.
400s up. Now, this is a relatively easy track. Lots of junior drivers come here, and that means that making a difference here is even more difficult.
Yeah, it's relatively easy to get down as this track. There's only a few, tricky corners, corner 9, and then you've got the labyrinths as well. But it is hard to get down fast.
She's only just dropped behind Lisa Buchwitz, but the speed in the Kreisel has gone away. A little tidier out of 9.
Making out to be a nice labyrinth there. It's pretty good.
That's going to be 3rd at the line. 125.6 compared to 126.1 of Buchwitz. That's not a bad opener. 2/10 back, though.
Decent.
Yeah, she needs to find a little bit more speed to really get herself in amongst the medals. So first World Championship as a driver. Last year in St. Moritz, she was a bronze medalist in women's bobsleigh, pushing Kaylee Humphreys. I mean, that's how fast the transition has been.
Yeah, she's done very well there, and she's got, she shows some great potential for the US team, that's for sure.
Learning to drive while full-time competing in the World Cup as a brakewoman.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple of former brakewomen in the year. In fact, they're all former brakewomen, because Alana started out as a brakewoman. So, but that was a few more driving years ago.
Oh yes.
So now then, Bree Walker. I mean, there's 6 names we toss up in the air, and she is one of those. There's an absolute potential medalist. She's got so much in monobobs.
Yeah, she's great driver is Bree.
Now, what about the start? 584 again, really quick getaway.
Yeah, she's up there.
4 World Cup podiums this year. She crashed out in Heat 3 in the Worlds in Altenburg in 2021 on her debut.
She finished 5th here last year at the World Cup, to see if she can get any better.
Wow, she's pulled level with Buchwitz. She's pulling ahead of Lisa Buchwitz. Wow. So maybe the track is starting to polish a little bit. 3rd best speed in the Kreisel. That's that nudge in 6 not helping.
See where 8 to 9's looking like then. Little tap. She controls it well though. Decent exit.
Nice 9 to 11.
Yeah, Yeah, it's shaping to be a good run, this.
Yeah, 800's back. Lauren Alter in second, is 800's back. Best speed of all. She's going to close 600s.
Yep.
All right, we've got a race.
I think Pierre's happy with that, with a little smile.
He is happy with that, so he should be, and so should Brianna Walker.
Yeah, she'll be happy. She'll have a smile on her face.
Yeah. She's the first of 2 Aussie sliders in the Monobob World Championships. I can't tell you a time where we've had 2 Australian bobsleighs in any World Championships.
It's because we haven't. It's the first time.
Yeah. Now we need the men's program to fire itself up again. It's been a very long time.
Yeah, they've disappeared over the years, haven't they?
Yeah. Now then, again, another name in the frame is Romania's Andreea Grecu. What she has on her side is she's got plenty of driving experience, and boy, can she start a sled. Fast start right now, 5.80 from Keisha Love. Is she going into the 70s? 5.82.
No, but she's got a very good start there.
Only the 4th best velocity, though.
And she's in first place already.
Wow.
She's very good. I do love the look of the Romanian sleds.
Yeah.
She's got a very good looking sled.
Well, Paul Niagu, the coach you saw there, he lives in Winterberg. He and his son have got a physio business here, and yeah, they are the driving force behind this women's program. Still tied for the lead, little nudge in 6.
Yeah, she controls it well around the Kreisel though, but she is a very experienced pilot.
Yeah. And this is home ice for her.
Certainly is.
They get a lot of time here. In the early days, they had lots of support from the Germans. Not quite so much now that they're getting in among the medals.
This is a good tidy run.
Oh!
5th fastest.
It's all unravelling a little down at the bottom, though. She's only a 1/4 of a second back, 2700s back. Ooh, there's Paul Niagu on the left, Julian Pachanu on the right.
Yeah, so this is the problem with driving sometimes. That looked really good.
Yeah.
Good run, but you know, is it
late flops?
Is it a case of she's been overdriving it slightly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has struggled for form this season. Just again, look, you just see that little nudge there. She's going down from 6 into the Kreisel, and then she's holding the line, but she's having to work a little too hard. Great view down at the bottom in corner 11. How close you get to these bobsleds. These things are doing 120, 130 kilometers an hour, literally within arm's reach. Name me another sport where you can be so close to World Championship action.
Yeah, it's impressive how close you can start.
It is, isn't it? And a big crowd here Saturday morning, even in the snow. Next up is 6th place starter, or our 6 of our starters, Alana Myers-Taylor, the Olympic silver medalist, sat out last season. She gave birth to her 2nd son. Her oldest is 4 now, just turned 4 this week, and hits hard in 0. And basically, that just puts the brakes on. The sled will have stopped dead almost.
Yeah, as you can see, I said you were going to get mistakes there. She's hit the corner too early. I'll take a lot of velocity and speed away from the start.
Well, she has the start record at 5.78. That getaway was a 5.78. That equals the fastest monobob start ever on this track. But still, look, how can she have come to a dead halt and only be 400s back?
She's getting faster. She's 3rd fastest now.
And that's the experience.
Yeah, she's a great pilot, is Alana.
Wow. 300s up at the start. She's only 800s back. She's currently hovering around 2nd or 3rd.
She keeps this clean. She'll be up there.
All right. 4th best
2nd
run.
fastest.
Wow. That is a big run from Alana, considering the dramas in that 0 curve. The 0 curve exists because they built this big new start area, a multi-story building, to replace the old sheds, basically. But that didn't go straight down to corner 1 any longer, so there's that little kink.
Yeah, and it is
78, says Tuffy.
Yeah, it's a tricky little corner of 0.
So what happens? Sled comes out of the drive lines before she's behind the D-rings, and you can see it skid there.
Yeah, so she's loaded too late, hasn't she?
She's running
As she sat down, it's out
way.
the grooves, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Oh, she's taken a tap on the right as well.
Boom.
Wow,
Oh.
yeah. So actually, she's driven that back very well.
How has she driven that back? I mean,
Yeah.
you saw it hit 0 there. It just about stopped. Man. All right, Melanie Hassler now for Switzerland now. Mel, 25 years of age, 3rd World Championships, 7th place only at home in St. Moritz last year. Very disappointed after such a strong women's bobsleigh outing, 587.
Good start from Mel. She had a fantastic first run last season here at the World Cup. Not so fantastic at the second run though.
No.
She won't want that to happen again. But she is a good driver.
She really is a good driver.
Yeah.
Only 800s back. And she really has medal potential here, I think, as well. She knows the track pretty well. Little rattle from 6 into the Kreisel.
Down on speeds though, 7th fastest. But this is a nice tidy run.
Okay, and she gets it nicely off the Kreisel. That starts to accelerate you again down the lower part of the track. Smooth off 9, no late flops.
Great transition.
Yeah.
So
and when you see the sled falling off the corner, that impact takes energy out of the sled. That's what helps you accelerate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And across the line, it is 7th, but 58.88. All right, 10th behind Andrea Greco. And she's left herself with a lot of work to do, but there are 3 more heats to go. So best result on this track, 7th. Best result in the Monobob Worlds, 7th. Yasmin Naif, you might recognise down the bottom, helping out with his sled dogging. Former brakewoman for Switzerland.
That's a decent load.
She loads very well, doesn't she? And here, not too high in 11.
There's quite a lot of helmet been shown there, though.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the angle of the camera, looking down into it. You see the hands working hard in the Kreisel as well. Now then, Yingqing of China, 2nd world champs, crashed in Heat 1 in St. Moritz in the mono. Her first monobob medal was in Sigulda. She got a bronze just a couple of weeks ago. 9th in the Winter Games in Beijing. Let's see what she's got for us today. She has had a top 10 finish in mono on this track last year. But I think it's going to be a real transformation if she's in medal contention.
That's a great load.
599.
Decent corner 0 as well. She can carry the velocity and speed.
She's starting a couple of tenths slower than the fastest starters, and that's always going to be a deficit.
That's where you need to drive the hell out of it.
Climbing uphill into corner 4. You kind of go over a little flat crest where everything skids, and then down into 5.
Yeah, the good transitions though.
Again, the standard hit in corner 6 going into the Kreisel. You can see she's trying to place the front of the sled. The back's not quite following. It's got a little bit of a mind of its own. And that's all down to setup on the sled.
Yeah, the bottom half of the track is looking pretty decent here.
Yeah.
Great transitions.
A top 10 result would be a big result for her in the World Champs. 8th fastest, 59.15.
I'd be happy with that. I'd take that.
Yeah.
Decent looking drive.
If she can get in the top 10 overnight and then try and close in on maybe a top 6, the higher up the order she'll be, the better. She's the only Chinese slider here. Wai Mingming, her teammate, not competing. She went home about 3 weeks ago after the death of mother. So it is just Ying here.
Interestingly, it's still snowing at the top of the track.
Yeah. Well, most of the track is covered, but you come out from the roof of the start area down to 0. It is snowy, and that will build up, and it will just exaggerate that little skiddy effect. For Canada, then, Cynthia Appiah. She's the first of our 2 Canadian sliders. 3rd Worlds for her. She finished 6th in St. Moritz. She was 8th in the Winter Games, but this year has really struggled to find her driving form.
Whoa,
oh my goodness, 576.
She's just shown you, Martin.
Wow. Well, she hasn't been among the fastest starters this year either, but her driving has really struggled too. So is she going to turn it around here?
Well, she keeps it nice, clean and tidy. She'll carry that down and be in first at the bottom.
Little nudge from 4 into 5.
Losing speed. 5th
but
fastest.
10th
wow.
up. So she's the only person who has led Lisa Buchwitz at the Kreisel. 3rd best speed.
Yeah, she's getting faster. However, she is losing time.
Yeah, but she is building speed. She is not as quick as Bookvik. She's not as quick as Lauren Alter. Only 100th back. Oh, a bit of a rattle there. 600s first to second, 800s to third. She is second. Wow, get
Fantastic.
in,
Well done.
Cynthia Appia.
That'll put a smile on her face.
Well, and it will, because actually she's had this sort of questioning frown on her face all day, every day this year, gone, what am I doing? Why can't I drive this thing?
Yeah, I was watching last year's race, and I don't think she was very happy with her final result, and she did say, oh well, next year world champs.
Yeah.
She's just done it there.
Wow. Well, what a start for Cynthia Appia. Best World Cup result, 8th place here, 5th in the Worlds last year, but that is a storming way to start. And, you know, new start record, that then puts,
Thanks, everyone.
it puts all the others very firmly on notice that this is going to be a tough race. Bianca Ribby for Canada. Second Worlds for her, made her debut in St. Moritz, but her first World Championships as an athlete was in Whistler in 2019. She was in the team competition pushing Alicia Risling's sled. So 6:10, very different start from her teammate. Where Ribby makes it up is in the women's bob when she's got another athlete behind her. She's a good driver.
Yeah, she is. You just see at the top of the track from 0 into 1, it looks quite frosty. You see the drive lines everywhere.
Yeah. I think they got the refrigeration on because with the snow comes moist air.
Certainly does, yeah.
Plus also the front run
Yes.
Germans have gone to.
Good transitions there, 5 into 6. 6
Seventh best speed. But off the slowest start, 6th best speed. She's coming back.
Got a nudge into 11.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh,
good wave.
look out.
But she controlled it well.
Yikes. Yeah, that's the danger of getting a tap on the wall in the wrong place, is suddenly it fires you straight up to the roof in the next corner.
Yeah, and that's where you need to be on it as a pilot. You know, if you take a tap and it goes late into a corner,
Yeah.
what do you do to get it back on track? And she's
Yeah,
done that-
because
she
your
did that
brain's
well.
going, get it off, get it off.
Exactly,
But,
yeah.
but you have to try and balance that against the need for speed.
Yeah.
Well, first saw Bianca Ribby as a driver in the Monobob race in Whistler at the beginning of last season, which she won. She's not been able to reproduce that, but that little tap there in the non-existent corner 10, you only know it's there when you walk the track.
Yeah, so she's gone late into 11,
Yeah.
caught the pressure late, so then put her back up at the second pressure.
Yeah, fires you right up to the roof. Proper heart-in-mouth moment for Bianca Ribby. 10 sleds down in our field of 26 women's monobobs. th starter in the Monobob World Championships is Austria's Katy Beil. Missed out last year after a stroke at the end of the previous season. She's back to pretty much her best now. Made a World Championship debut in Altenburg 2021.
Yeah, another experienced driver.
She had an 8th place finish there. She also raced in the Winter Games in Monobob in 2022. She's got a really good feel for the ice. What she lacks here in mono is that start.
Certainly is, yeah. She was 2 tenths down there in the start. Let's see what she can do with the drive, though. So the nice tidy lines.
3 tenths back. So at the moment, she's ahead of Bianca Ribby. Her target will be a top 10 finish. So try and get ahead of Yingqing of China at this stage as well, but only the 11th best speed.
Yeah, she's getting slower. She was 10th, now 11th.
Yeah.
Skid into 11. She controls it well.
Well, better bottom of the track than Bianca Ribby had. Whoa! Yeah, there's the curse, the commentator, right away. 8th best speed at the bottom. And the longer the track, the better she'll like it. 59.1.
Yeah, she brought it back at the end.
Yeah. So 9th place at the line, ahead of Yingqing and Bianca Ribby. And who behind is going to get ahead of her? Well, maybe the very next sled, actually. There are a couple. Helping out down the bottom there is her young brother, Henning. Henning is 15. He's already a bobsleigh driver. He was in the Youth Olympic Games in Korea 3 weeks ago.
tap going into 14 there. Always got a smile on her face.
Yes, she does. And the biggest smile is reserved for when she's just avoided a crash.
Absolutely.
Now then, for Great Britain, making her World Championship debut, the first of nearly 10 debutantes in the field, is Adele Nicholl. So 27-year-old, British and Welsh shot put champion. Sean Olsen, 98 Olympic bronze medalist on the back. And Graham Richardson, the long-time coach. She's been really champing at the bit to get to here.
Yeah, it's a debut World Champs. It's also a debut on this track, Martin.
Yep.
She's having a great breakout year.
Yeah, she really is. Turns in a good turn in the commentary as well. She'll be joining us for commentary next week. A 5.95 getaway.
Good corner zero. She's a great driver. She's shown great potential in the driving seat as well.
And then first year in the World Cup, making a World Cup debut and a World Championship debut this season.
Yeah, she's certainly raising eyebrows, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Nice tidy lines, these.
So 9th place start. Best
Fastest
speed into the Kreisel. Wow.
Must be those runners, Adele.
Is she on yours? Or are they Jacko's? So best speed at the bottom, but little nudge in 10, handles it well in 11. Really building speed. Up to 8th place in her first heat. She's ahead of Melanie Hassler.
Second fastest speed.
Chasing down Andrea Grecu for 7th. 9th at the line. 100th behind Melanie Hassler. Take that every day of the week.
Yeah, and as you can see, she's more than happy with that.
Wow, no kidding.
She'll still pick her run apart though. She'll be at the top with Graham and Sean going, how can I make that better? How can I make it faster? She's got a very good understanding of her sled now.
First of 9 World Championship debutantes in this race alone.
Not bad for her first race laugh of her.
Not bad at all. Now, I don't think generally she's the nervous kind.
No, she's not.
She's been on the big stage a few times, but, you know, it's the first run. There's still that tension. You really want to get a good first run in. If your first run is bad, you're in a big hole, even over 4 runs. If your first run is good, you've got that scoreboard pressure in your favour.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about Vicky Chernanska then from Slovakia? This is her 3rd World. So she was in the Youth Olympics in 2020, been in the World Champs ever since then. 6.19 start. She's also a summer and winter, a winter Olympian rather. She competed in Beijing in 2022. They threw Chernanska right in the deep end, didn't they? And she's actually swum quite well, I think.
She's getting that experience up, that's for sure. Yep. Quite a lot of tracks done now. She's still very young though.
Yep.
She's got a lot of potential, a lot of time on her.
Just 21. She sits really leaning back in the sled. When you get the overhead shots, you really see the arms working, the hands on the D-rings that steer these sleds, but a little loose at the bottom. And again, like we saw from Ying Qing, the back of the sled not really tracking and following the front.
A little bit loose at the bottom there.
13th best speed.
13th finish.
Well, her best result was 12th place in Samoritz. So she's kind of in there. 59.60. Again, starting 6.19. That's a quarter of a second slower than Adele Nicholl, who went just before her. So, you know, that's a full second disadvantage over 4 heats.
Yeah, if you're low on the start, you know it's going to catch you up at the bottom.
Yeah.
Big exit steer there.
Breathless stuff when you're doing it all yourself. So from Wiktoria Chernanska to Linda Wyszewski of Poland, 24 years of age, her 2nd Worlds on her debut in Samoritz. She finished in 18th. Only had a couple of race weekends on this track in Europe Cup and in last year's Junior Worlds.
Linda's been doing pretty well on the Europa Cup. She's getting there. She's getting a lot of experience done now. Oh, little skid off corner 0. She's controlled it well.
6:03 getaway, starting 1600s quicker than Victoria Chinanska, who we just saw, so it's a big advantage. Again with her, she was inside the top 20 in St. Moritz last year. She'll be looking to try and get higher up the top 15 this year. Had its season of experience.
14th fastest speed.
Yeah, so lowest speed so far. Still snowing.
Tap going into 8.
But as you can see, there's roof
Tap into
over
9 coming late. She controlled it well.
roof over most of the track. Little skid into 11.
Yeah, it's a little bit skiddy at the bottom.
Yeah.
But she's still 14th fastest.
Well, there is speed in the track, as we saw from Adele Nicol just 2 or 3 sleds ago. Fastest and second fastest speeds. So 59.51. And actually, if the track continues to hold up, then Kim Kalicki, who goes off 26th and last, might actually have reasonable conditions.
Yeah, it's still snowing though, so there's snow build up at the top of the track will be slowing the sleds down.
And she's still got another 10 sleds to wait as well, so it will feel like forever. Leaving the changing room last in a first heat will be something that Kalicki hasn't done for a very long time. See her leaning her head and her body. There was just using the shoulder there on the cowl to try and do a bit of steering. Now another debutant, the third in our field in fact. We have got 10. I've forgotten that Keisha Love wasn't making her debut. This is 21-year-old Deborah Annan. Father Martin Annan, a 2-time world and Olympic medalist. He is here. I've not seen him at a track watching her race before, but he is here. 6:01. She's got her father's eyes. She's definitely got her father's smile. I wonder how much of his ability to get a bobsled down a track she's got.
Yeah, she was with us the other week doing the training runs. She's not actually been on this track much.
No,
so she's
very limited time here. 1 World Cup start in Altenburg last time out. It's her debut, 11th best speed. So trying to haul herself. She had the 11th start.
9th fastest now, so
yeah.
she's picking up speed.
Here we go, looking to try and climb into the top 10. That's good.
Decent transitions there.
And the Swiss sleds in the women's race will always make good speed. 8th best speed, top 10 run from Deborah Annan. Right in there, 59.08.
Yeah.
Wow, excellent.
I'm sure she'll be happy with that.
Saw Rico Peter, the coach, and Peter Ramseidel. Yeah, her dad was a bronze medalist in the Olympics in 2-man and 4-man in Cesana. And a multiple medalist here in 2-man and 4-man.
She's sitting pretty low.
Big skid there. Yeah, she's quite a tall athlete, so you can get that weight further back and still reach the D-rings.
Yeah, I mean, you can see her hand, so she's got her seat a lot further back.
There's the smile. She used to play handball for the Swiss team. Her coach, she kept getting injured. Her coach said, "Oh, you should try bobsleigh instead." He said, "Not sure he knew what bobsleigh really was." All right, 15 down and 11 to go now. Kelly van Petegem of Belgium making her World Championship debut. 2 World Cup starts in the monobob for the 24-year-old. Former brakewoman for her now coach, Anne van Nieuwenhuis. Has got experience in this track though, has half a dozen races here. And there will be lots of Belgians in the crowd. 5:98 getaway.
Yeah, Kelly's been doing quite well on the Europa Cup, a few podiums.
Yeah.
She's stepped up to the World Cup now.
Well, when she stepped up to World Cup, she was leading the monobob and the women's bobsleigh ranking, so she has had a really good season.
Yeah, in both monobob and 2 women.
Sits nice and low in the sled, doesn't have much option. She's not the tallest athlete. 4/10 back. Can she make this a top 12 run? 15th best speed. Sled is skidding around under her a little.
Yeah, there's quite a few mistakes here. This is going to catch up with her, I think.
Again, every time she makes a steer, the back of the sled decides it's going somewhere else. Late flops down at the bottom. This is as untidy a run as we've seen so far, and high on the exit, 59.33. All right, so 14th, she's ahead of Linda Wyszewski and Victoria Czernanska, both of whom have more experience in the sleds than she does. So, but it did look like the back had no intention of following the front. Every time you see a skid, she's got the front where she wants it and the back doesn't follow.
Yeah, she may have fatter runners on the back, or it's just maybe just a case of being on the corner for too long and then she's sort of steering harder to get off and it's just dropping the back end off. But she's missed the first pressure in the in corner 11 there, which then put her up late.
All right, 14th place in the first heat for Kelly on her debut. And next up, Canada's Melissa Lotholtz, second Worlds for her. She's coming here having not raced in the World Cup this year, but off 6 straight North America's Cup podiums, 2 bronze, 2 silver, 2 gold. She can still drive a sled.
Yeah, she certainly can, yeah.
And she can still start one as well, 5.92 getaway.
Nice, clean, tidy lines, which is what you want at the top of the track.
Well, made her Monobob World Championship debut in Altenburg 2021. She finished 7th, did not compete in St. Moritz in the Worlds last year.
I think she took a year out last year, didn't she?
Yeah.
10th fastest speed, so she's getting quicker. She's carrying that velocity and speed from the top.
And off the 9th best start, she is still in the top 10, ahead of Deborah Annan, chasing down Adele Nicol for 9th place. She's not going to get there, not with that speed at the bottom. Does she stay in the 10? Yes, she does. 200s ahead of Deborah Annan. Olympic 2-man gold medalist Justin Cripps on the left there, and I think he'll be pretty happy with that. So 59.06, still some speed to be found in this track. Fun fact about Melissa Lotholtz, plays piano like a concert pianist. She is a brilliant pianist.
Yeah, she likes the music in the changing room. She's always dancing around.
Yeah. Well, good to see Melissa Lotholtz back in harness. And next up is French driver Margot Bock. 13th place on her debut in St. Moritz last year in the Monobob Worlds. And Margot, still just 24 years of age. Comes from La Plagne, competed in the Olympics as well. Finished just outside the top 10 in 11th. Hasn't started a World Cup race here, but in the Europe Cup in the Women's World Series, she claimed a bronze medal on her last race in a mono on this track, 6.02.
14th fastest, 10th fastest speed.
Well, that's good velocity.
Yeah. See if she can carry it down the track then.
Yeah.
She's quite a good little driver, is Margot.
She's got good hands. She doesn't have the biggest speed, but 14th at the start. She's already up to 11th on the split times.
Yeah, you can see there's quite a lot of dust and sort of snow in the track now.
5th best speed.
She is speeding up, she's good.
Little tap there. 4th best speed.
Yeah, she's bringing it back.
I don't know what Max Robert and Bruno Mijon have done in terms of runner setup on the sled, but it looks like she's got control. It's not skidding front and back as we saw from a couple of them, and she's got top 5 speed at the bottom. That's a really good run from Margot Bock, 58.92.
Yeah, she's done well there. She controlled it very well at the bottom. It just shows her, you know, the driving ability.
And she's 300s behind Adele Nicol in 9th, 400s behind Melanie Hassler in 8th. Really tight little group there. They're only a 10th out of the top 6. Wow, she's happy with that, isn't she?
Yeah, she is, yeah. Got to say, I've not seen much of Margot this year.
Yeah, well, she tends to go, she's building her knowledge, and she tends to go to tracks and spend time there, like 2 weeks somewhere. We'll do a Europa Cup and a week of practice rather than be always in the World Cup. So we don't see it as often as we might, but yeah, she's got good hands. Now then, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th of 10 debutantes is former brakewoman Sylvia Hoffman. 34-year-old has done only 13 monobob races. Made her World Cup debut last time out in Altenburg and finished 16th. Whoa, a lot of the zero.
Looks like
but
she ran
look
it a
at the
bit too far
start, 5.77.
Yeah, I think she got a bit carried away with running with the sled there.
Yeah, well, like her teammate, Alana Myers-Taylor, who started 5:78, she's actually inside Alana's old start record, but 100th off the new one.
Yeah, she can keep these lines close.
Tied for the lead.
12 fastest speeds.
Oh dear. All right, well, Sylvia will learn more about the driving art. She's been driving for the last season or so. Whoa!
Yeah, she's making quite a few mistakes, but she's carrying the speed, which is interesting.
Let it fly.
She is letting it fly, yeah.
She really is. Only 18 best speed, but she's only a quarter of a second off the lead in her first heat and across the line.
Wow.
Top 10 run. Wow. Tied for 9th with Adele Nicol. She made that look entertaining right from the start. Right, so Alana is 5th, Keisha is 6th, and Sylvia is 9th. Not bad, USA. And we're not in Lake Placid this year. Not bad at all.
Yeah, it's definitely a good grouping for the US team, that's for sure.
And bearing in mind that one of them, Alana, didn't drive at all last year. The other two were learning how to drive last year and didn't race effectively. I mean, and Keisha did. She was a brake woman all last year. You know, Sylvia was a brake woman up to the end of 22.
You see there, she's a little late off corner 9, which then brings her over early, taps her late into 11.
Thank you, everyone at home. We got this, USA.
Such a rookie team in terms of driving experience. They are having a great time of it. Okay, so continuing with our rookies, Patricia Tanarova from the Czech Republic, 21 years of age, in her 2nd season as a bobsledder. She has raced here twice, 10th in the Junior Worlds here in January 2023. So they had a Europa Cup weekend, then Junior Worlds, and those are her 2 race weekends here. Loving the sled, absolutely stunning wrap.
Yeah, it's a good looking sled, isn't it?
Former soccer player, gets in, gets down, has a little skid, and hits a lot of the zero curve. The fans stand back. And we're not picking up on the mic, but you hear how much noise it must be.
Yeah, it's a classic mistake in corner 0, hitting it way too early. It looks like he hit a brick wall.
6:01, so she's not started a World Cup race. It's her debut in the World Champs. She's got all these big names off the telly around her. Yeah. I'd be amazed if she wasn't nervous in her first heat.
No, of course, that's all part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
20 faster speed.
Yep. So slowest sled so far, and again, I mean, she did reverse it into the wall there in the zero curve, so that's not a surprise. I think she will only get better from here.
It's a fairly good transition from 9 into 11 there.
Yes, looking tiny, isn't it? She's definitely got a handle on the track.
11th fastest.
Yes!
She's gone from 20th to 11th, that's not too bad.
That's very good speed!
Nearly called Bert Afty there.
And she picks off Linda Wierzchewski and Victoria Szymanska. So that's a really good first drive. Right, accepting the fact that she rammed the wall at 0, trying to bump it out the way. And look, she's full of you can just see the buzz in her body.
Yeah, she's happy, isn't she?
Now she gets in, but does not get down, and that's carbon copy Alana.
It is, yeah, she's got caught up as she's got in. Oh. And the monobobs are quite tricky actually to get into, so like some of the girls are bringing the seat further back to give them a bigger sort of hole to jump into.
Yeah. Well, there's the beginnings of a victory roll. She decided not to go for it in the first heat. She's such a bubbly character as well. All right, 20 sleds into the first heat. Lisa Buchwitz is still our narrow leader. 21st up, hey, guess what? Another rookie. This is Sarah Blizzard, who was in the booth with me last week.
Yep, Sarah on her 5th season, 2nd as a pilot. This is her first sort of proper season as a pilot and her debut in the monobob, and you'll see her next week in the 2-woman as well.
She's had 2 weeks sliding here. Last year, Europe Cup and Junior Worlds. She was 4th in the Under-23 Junior Worlds. I beg your pardon, in the Junior Worlds.
Yeah, she's doing well, especially for a self-funded athlete as well.
Yep.
You know, she's going around with her teammates and her coach, all self-funded, looking after herself, doing all the hard work, all the bookings, all that kind of stuff. So she's
That's the nitty-gritty and the glamour of bobsled all in one.
Is, yeah.
All right, 17th best speed off the 19th best start. So again, she's driving herself into the race here.
Yeah. Control this corner 9.
And not too many skids either.
A little tap into 11. She's controlled it well.
Holds the line nicely.
Nice smooth labyrinth, which is good.
19th place ahead of Victoria Chinanska, trying to chase down Linda Wyszewski. Does get ahead of Wyszewski, 59.49. And Van Nieuwenhuis helping out with the coaching. She knows how to get a sled down here.
Yeah,
she can pass on some of that knowledge.
She has. She taught me corner 9, she did.
There you go. All right, so start 6:10, 19th best start. Sarah started as a brakewoman for Bree Walker. A couple of seasons doing that, and now in her second year as a driver. Nice lines down at the bottom. That's what brings the speed. You can either pick up speed or really die a death below 11. She picked up speed. Georgeta Popescu was a rookie in last year's Worlds, Youth Olympic Championship gold medalist, San Moritz 2020. She finished in 16th in the Senior Worlds last year. And a 6:26 getaway. Again, that is really her Achilles heel. She's losing so much at the start.
Yeah, she's improving though. She started as 6:32, 6:33 last season, so she is improving. She's getting there.
She was bronze in the Junior Worlds on this track last year. Woo! You can still see on some of the flatter sections a lot of runner marks on the ice, so it's still fairly frosty at the top. That's why the speeds are low.
I think it might be a case that the track is slightly slowing down.
I'll tell you what, when the last sled comes out, we're going to find out, aren't we? Because it's Lisa Buchwitz, and she knows how to get... Now, Georgeta, again, not enough control. Maybe 2 fat runners on the back, because she is just skidding all over the place.
She's picking up speed, though.
Yeah. Decent speed. She wasn't trying to fight it. 59.88. So already an Olympic champion from the Youth Olympics in 2020. And Youth Olympic silver medalist just behind her, Victoria Chinanska, is actually just ahead of her in the race at the moment. And Chinanska has definitely overhauled Georgeta Popescu in her driving ability over the last couple of seasons. Part of that is Victoria with an improved start as well. But again, hanging it up late on 9. Probably not a fine feeling, I'm thinking.
No, it's not great. I mean, you do get a bit of a twitchy bum sometimes on corner 9, especially on the exit.
Yeah. All right, so first heat for Georgeta Popescu. Next up, from the Netherlands, Lauren Jolo. Long time since we've had a female Dutch bobsleigh driver. Hi to Elena Jurg. Well, let's see, 6:03. This part of the field, that's not a bad getaway. Only the second season on ice for her. She's 21 years of age. She's been here just once in her 16 previous monobob races. So experience limited, but no shortage of determination in this rejuvenated Dutch team. Little skid.
Yeah, it's looking quite tidy. It's not too bad, is this, at the top. Tap going into Kreisel. 18th
fastest start, so she's got a bit of a speed advantage early on over some of her rivals. The speed is dropping away a little.
Yeah, she's losing speed now.
Well, they've really restarted the Dutch programme from ground zero. They've got sliders in the men and the women's field. Oh! Big skid at the bottom is going to really put on the brakes because it's uphill all the way from there. 59.69. There's Yvette Brown on the right-hand side, raced for the Netherlands up to the 22 games.
Yeah, there's a lot of time to be lost in the finish curve.
Yeah.
You know, if you stand in the bottom of it to look
It is steep uphill, isn't it? It's like 3 stories up.
Yeah,
you don't really see it on TV. You feel it in your calves, though.
You certainly do when you're doing a track walk.
Yeah. Well, again, sled just looks a little skid. Again, as she gets it on the corner, she's got the line she wants. The back is stepping up.
Yeah, I think she's controlled the corner 9 quite well there. She's known where the sled was doing, what it was doing, where it needs to be.
Little late height out of 11, and then skidding down at the bottom. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's 13 into 14, isn't it?
That's not ideal.
Sideways uphill. Think about it cycling. You know, if you have a big drift at the bottom of a hill, you know it's hard going up. Now then, Leah Hasselvanter making her debut for Austria, 24 years of age. She was trying out as a brakewoman for Catty Bile before the 22 games, didn't make the squad, then went off to university, got persuaded to come back and do trials, and then ended up somehow in the front seat of a bobsleigh. 6:11 for her. And another driver who's only raced twice on this track.
Yeah, she's got Stamfer and Catty Bile to teach her though, so she's got some good coaching.
And nice again to see the Austrian team coming back up. The second driver at world level.
Yeah.
22nd start, driving herself up towards the top 20. She's in the top 20 now. This is a good first run from Leah. Another bundle of youthful energy in the bobsled. I think you'll see a lot of that at the bottom. 23rd best, she's dropping back a little at the bottom. And at the line, 22nd.
It's not a bad tidy run at the bottom.
Yep. 100th ahead of Lauren Jolo of the Netherlands. So Leah Hasselvanter gets her senior career underway. Second year on ice, and she's already in the World Championships. Okay, little late exit. I reckon if we watched Catty Bile's video, it would be very similar in corner 9, actually.
Yeah. And that's the problem with coming off corner 9. If you go back up slightly or you stay too long on the exit of it, it pushes you over and you tap left, and then you go slightly late into 11.
Big smile as Leah Hasselvanter starts her World Championships with a good run. Next up for Nigeria, Simi Adiagbo. Now, she was a 2018 Olympian for Nigeria, but this is her first World Championship start. She's been coached by legendary German driver Sandra Kyriasis, who does know a thing or two about winning medals on this track.
Yeah, she certainly does. We were in the hotel with her a couple of weeks ago.
Well, she gets a lot of the zero curve as well, trying to get that speed at the start. 5.96 getaway. Simi had 2 crashes in training. Over 2 days, you get 3 runs per day. She went over twice, so she'll be focused. I mean, first African driver ever to start a World Championships in a bobsleigh.
It's not a bad thing to say, is it?
No, I know, absolutely.
She's a good little trooper, is Simi. Yep. She'll make mistakes. She'll maybe potentially crash sometimes. She just gets straight back on the horse.
Yep. 12th best start. She's still in the top 20. 18th best speed. She's 18th on the splits.
Fairly decent this run.
She's only ever been here a couple of times. Gathers it back up just off 13. That won't help the speed.
No, she took a tap going into 13.
But only just out of the top 20. She has still got 4 sleds behind her. And she makes her World Championship debut. So the first ice sliding Olympian from Africa becomes the first World Championship slider from Africa.
Sure, she'll have a big smile on her face.
Yes, she will. Especially because she didn't have to use a helmet to finish the run. That was close, but so you're learning all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. She's taken a tap going into 13 there, which has put her in late, and she's had to haul it off.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately with these monobobs, they are quite reactive, so you can save them quite well, but maybe in the 2-woman or definitely the 4-man, you'd be on your head.
So how quick is the track? Let's find out. Kim Kalicki has missed almost all the World Cup monobob season, rehabbing a calf and now a hamstring injury.
She does look quite reserved on the start.
Yeah,
though.
She's not going to break the start record, but this woman can drive this track. 6:01, all right. Let's see what it's got.
Limit velocity though.
5th in the world in Samoritz when she was fitter. It has to be said, does not really like the monobobs very much.
No, she doesn't.
But
2-woman is definitely her thing.
But, you know, she's here in the World Championships, and you can not take the fiery competitor out of Kim Kalicki. So 15th at the start. What's the speed looking like? Seventh best speed.
Yeah, that just goes to show.
There is speed in the track. 8th best speed. And the monos don't do so much damage to the track as like a big field of four-man sleds, so it's holding up well despite the snow, despite the 25 previous sleds.
She's driving that well, but it is to be expected. You know, she is a German on a German track.
7th best speed at the bottom and across the line, 12th. All right, she's given herself a fighting chance. She's already more than halfway up the field.
Yeah.
And in the second heat, she will have better ice possibly than the later runners who will be ahead of her as we go from 20 down to 1 and then the remaining sleds. So first step, she's in the top 20.
Yep.
She's knocking on the door of the top 10 from stone last in the start list.
Yeah, I'd take that for
and off
Kim.
of only the 15th best start. So she's still not really fit to start. She's comprehensively outdriven her getaway.
No, she's done well there. I don't think it's not really a true reflection from her finished sort of time there, is it?
Looks like her mum and dad down there at the bottom. This is home ice for Kim Kalicki as well. She's had medals on this track in women's bob before. And she's been a bronze medalist in the monobob here as well, so she can get down. Right, Lisa Buchwitz is our first heat leader, and it is a very tight leaderboard. Top 5, 1300s, top 6, 210s, top 10, 3800s. It's going to be very tight. Buchwitz leads by 5 from Appia, 6 from Brianna Walker, 8 from Lara Nolter, 13 from Alana Myers-Taylor, and Keisha Love rounds out the top 6 in with 2/10 of a deficit, just 700s ahead of Andrea Grecu. Then there's another tight battle. Melanie Hassler, the tie between Adele Nichol and Sylvia Hoffman, 200s behind, 300s behind, then Margot Bock. Then a tie between Melissa Lottholtz and Kim Kalicki, 200s ahead of Deborah Annan. She is ahead of a tie between Cathy Bile and Ying Qing of China. We've got a tie for 20th place. Only 3 ties in the field. They're not really trying, are they? All right, that's the first heat done in women's monobob. We'll be back at 10:30, 09:30 GMT, 04:30 Eastern for the second heat, and that will be in just 30 minutes from now. Till then, from Adam Baird, me, Martin Haven, in the IBSF TV crew, bye for now.
Thanks, everyone.
Lisa Buchwitz, please intervene.